What's up, guys? We are live here in Albuquerque, New Mexico at lovely Duke City BMX.
A little chilly this morning.
It is a little brisk out here. You know, definitely different than Florida.
Yes, yes. So I had to bust out the old fly gloves.
Yeah,
Keep my hands warm, you know.
I got the fly coat on, the windbreaker.
We love it.
So,
we love it.
Man, yeah, but out here at Duke City BMX, high desert. I guess it's considered high desert.
High desert. I was talking to a guy this morning. I think we're at like 5,200 feet here.
Yeah.
Elevation.
So we're probably at like 3 feet elevation in Oldsmar.
Yep.
And now we're, you know, almost a mile or, yeah, so close to a mile.
Close to a mile.
Close to a mile
right
higher. So
right there.
Anyhow, welcome to the show, guys. Yeah, we're going with Fro in the finish line. It just fits.
It just fits, man. So I mean, come on.
That's what it's going to be under from here on out.
Yes.
All right, man, let's jump right into it. The wrap-up from Oldsmar.
Second day of Oldsmar, yes.
So at the end of the last show, we went through the pro mains on Friday night, the amazing comeback from Tyler Brown.
Oh, man.
It's one of the most epic laps I think I've ever witnessed in the pro class.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, to witness that thing firsthand and be the guy calling the motos, too, that was just always excitement for me.
For sure.
You know, and Tyler, never give up, man. I mean, that's just I can't stress that enough with you guys, man. I mean, you guys watched the video. You saw what happened. It came unclipped, uncorked, 5, 6, 7 bikes back, and
just never let off the gas, man.
Never let off the gas.
And he made smart decisions along the way, and that's what, you know, ultimately ended up giving him the win. So
yeah.
All right, well, let's get into some of the Saturday action here. We're going to go through
Super X Men.
Super X Men. There we go.
So, yeah, Super X-Men, man, was stacked all weekend long. We had international action going on with those guys.
They had 15 riders, as you can see there on the graphic. So who did you have in this main? You had Leto. You had Rico Bierman out of Auckland, New Zealand. You had Zach Jacobs, Riley Graham, Tyler Holland, Dylan Ramos, who is actually from here in Albuquerque.
Yep.
Ryo Nagashima from Japan, and Brendan Young, who's also a local at Music City BMX, along with Zach Jacobs.
Yeah, so you can see it, man. I mean, Leto just pretty much owned it as far as the main event goes on that one.
Yeah, man, he's super local.
Super local, yeah. And then you got Bierman, the Kiwi from New Zealand, came in for the weekend.
Yeah,
he wasn't messing around, but then you got Jacobs back there, Tennessee boy for Daylight Cycles, man. Yeah. And I'll tell you, that kid takes it up to another level on the
big hill.
On the big hill, he does. For some reason, I don't know if he's a little more comfortable up there or what. I was talking to his dad a little bit about it, and he said that you know, he just likes it. He likes the excitement up there on the hill. I don't know if it changes a little bit for those guys, you know, as far as they get up on the gate and you know, they're right before the pros. So I hype them up a little bit more. So you know, I talked to my son when he raced the junior Devo class back when we had the Devo class before, and he said the same thing. You know, he went from, you know, a mid-pack guy in the class to being a main maker in the Devo class just off the hype alone. He said everything, you know, leading up to it and then getting on that main gate with those guys, it's a different story.
The guys and the ladies, man, once you get on that big hill and the music's blaring and your adrenaline's pumping, you got to turn it up to another notch, man.
Right. You're not gonna not, you know, do 100% and just go for it. Yeah, it's just Yeah,
the lights are on.
The lights are on.
It's time to get it on. You know, so
it's
definitely, guys. If you want to take it to the next step, you know, a lot of you older amateurs that want to, you know, the junior class is an excellent way to get in there, but also that Super X Men. That's a great way to get your foot in the door to make that transition. Into
and to test the waters to see if you really want to you want to take it to that level, because it's definitely a different level of racing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, especially when you're going off the big hill. You know, we're out there in Oldsmar. The wind changed from the beginning of the day with motos to the main events. The wind direction changed 4 different times as I watched the flags throughout the day. So you had a full-on headwind at the beginning of the day. And then at the main event time, you're looking more towards a tailwind coming off the hill. So there's all kinds of adjustments that those guys are making off of that big hill to compensate for the wind being there, not being there, what's going on. So it's definitely – the big hill's a definite game changer. But
it is, man.
It's fun.
That's part of racing at that level. You have to be able to make those quick adjustments and just, you know, just overcome those adversities. So, all right, let's get into A Pro here. And Who did we have in A-Pro? Also an international affair, as Oldsmar always is. They had a big group, 24 riders in the A-Pro class.
Stacked.
On that Saturday. You had Jace Cunning, you had Monardo Simon, Tyler Smith, Wilson Goyes. You had Bacardo was in there.
Yeah.
Gabby Malenfant from Canada, and Jose Arturo.
So.
And Zula.
And Tommy Z.
Yeah. So stacked up, man. This was definitely a main event that anyone would be proud to take a victory in. So.
Right, and just to get in the lineup with those dudes up there, it was definitely no joke. And I'll tell you what, the Aussie, Jace Cunning.
Jace Cunning, he came over here, and we didn't never get a chance to talk to him or interview him, but I'm not sure what his long-term goals are.
Right.
But if he wants to turn elite, man, he looks like he's ready.
He's going to be the guy. You know, you can see him. You can see right here as he comes through the video, and I mean, just full domination down into turn number 1, and after that, the guy kind of he peeled away from those guys. You can see everybody trying to play a little catch-up. Monardo Simon.
He gave an effort, but
Tyler Smith, he was definitely in the mix, but you can see Cunning's probably 5 bikes out at this point.
He put a good gap on those guys, man. And then you had Tyler Smith there in the 3rd spot for the last spot on the podium.
Yeah, and he's definitely turned it up a little bit too. You know, from last year to the beginning of this year, Smith is turning it up.
He has,
running some new colors this year with the Throwdown crew.
Throwdown posse, yeah.
So I don't know. You know, every once in a while they make a little bit of a change, get with a new crew, and that might be all that they need to take it up another notch in the level, and then find their way back to the podium spots in the mains.
For sure, man. That and Jace Cunning came over here and basically won 4 races and went home.
4 for 4, went home, and then hopefully we'll see him back here later on in the season.
Yeah, hopefully so. We love to see those guys come from overseas, man.
Yeah,
they're nonchalant, man. They came a long way. They're not here to joke around. They're here to win and race and be competitive.
Yeah, so. And like I always say, you know, with those Aussie guys, man, it's Willoughby set the bar so high with those dudes.
Yeah.
If you're coming over here and you're an Australian guy that's a ripper, you're definitely you want to get to that level of Willoughby status. I mean, that's where you want to take it to.
For sure.
That's where it's at.
All right, next on deck here, guys, we have the junior women.
Woo! Junior women, another spectacular
it was
weekend.
Stacked up, man. There was only 9 riders, but basically what 9 riders means in the UCI sense is that they had to qualify to the main.
Right.
Then there was a main.
Then there was
if there's 8 or less riders, then they only race 3 motos and then they're done. So here we are. Main event time. Looks like we had Emily Hayes, Ashley Hayes, Natalie Daughtery, Mackenzie Skittles Gayhart, Molly Simpson out of Alberta, Canada, Carly Kane, Delaney Vaughn, and Lexus Colby.
You can see on the main event that we lost a couple right there, but then heading into turn number 1, Lexus Colby, she just was on the gas, and then you see right behind her Delaney Vaughn. I think it's Simpson trying to throw a wheel in there. Is there coming? Oh no, that was Kane as they came into that second turn. Yeah, she made a pass and dropped on the box right there. But you can see Colby. She just took off with this one and she ran it all the way down. She hit the top of the box. And Delaney Vaughn, I'll tell you what, Tucson
in the house, man. Tucson is definitely in the house with Delaney Vaughn.
Yeah, she's definitely, she stepped it up so big from last year to this year, especially with this women's class. I mean, we're seeing some phenomenal stuff. Of course, she's probably training with Corbin down there.
Of course, man. Because I live about halfway between Black Mountain and halfway between Tucson. So when we go to races, sometimes we'll go to either or. And when we go to Tucson, man, they're always out there. The full crew's out there, man. They have like a full gate, or maybe a gate and a half of like experts between 15 and probably 25.
Yeah.
So they always have good competition.
Yep.
Corbin shows up, man. He's giving tips to the kids out there, and Delaney's right in the mix with all of those guys.
Right. Yeah, and it shows when the girls ride with the boys. They step their game up a little bit, and the boys have to step their game up because they don't want to get beat by the girl. And you've got girls like the Hayes girls, Delaney Vaughn, Lexus Colby, all these ladies out there, Carly Kane. They're no joke.
Yeah, man.
They've got some skills that some of the other guys don't have.
A few hearts were broken a couple years ago in the mixed open classes when those girls used to race mixed open.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
So.
It's Hey, man, but, take it with stride.
Yeah, take it with stride.
You get beat by one of those fast girls there, hey, man, guess what? You just step up your game, bro.
Step it up. Step it up. All right, let's cue up the next lap here. All right. Yeah, let's fade her on in. All right, so we got Women Elite up next. Let's see.
Another great race right there as they take off. Lost one course going down over that big hill. You just never know what's going to happen. But
so yeah, man, you had Elise out to the quick lead. Lauren Reynolds right on her tail. Is that Felicia in third?
Yeah, Flying Felicia sitting there in third spot, and she's got the muscle, she's got the horsepower, and they really chased it down. They were all over trying to chase Willoughby down, but the streak continued on.
Look at this high-low. That was a beautiful high-low there by Stansel.
Yeah.
And she's going to come on by to get on the second step of the podium.
Right. Yeah, so she podiumed up in Phoenix. She podiumed up in Oldsmar. So Felicia's she's definitely got her eye on something. She's all done with school right now and everything, so she's got nothing to do but just race.
Just ride
and race BMX, and you can tell that her training regiment definitely been stepping it up, and she's a threat. She always has been a threat to the class, but she's really knocking the podiums out right now. And
for sure.
I know she's all these ladies, especially our U.S. girls, they all got their eye on the prize 2020. They want to go to the Olympics. They want to try to get the medals, all that kind of stuff. So
for sure.
We're going to see these ladies all year long. It's going to be a nonstop battle, week in and week out with these girls, for sure.
All right, next up we got junior men. Woo. You had Ryan Martin, who we haven't seen in a couple of years in the States, Cameron Wood, Thomas Correa, Cam Bramer, Vincent Garcia Pinto, Jacob Sardog. He was out of
Switzerland?
Switzerland,
yes.
We also had James Plummer and Iago Machado.
Yeah.
So take us through this lap here, Eric.
I'll tell you what, man, these guys, junior men was no joke once again. Getting all staged up there. Little stall out right there, but looks like they're going to get started right there, and then right off the bat, man, these guys are not going to be messing around. Cam Wood, once again, everybody opted for the pro side, hitting up through there. Wood was just on fire all weekend long. We never did get that interview with him, but hey, we're going to hit him up.
Skated out on us.
We'll hit him up again. We'll try to get him to make it happen as they're going through. But right there, you can see Martin right on that 2 spot, Speedco Avian Colors. Coming out of Great Britain, sitting up on that 2 spot as we come back around. But it was all Wood taking that one wire to wire one more time.
Sure. All right, before we start this Elite Men main, we're going to talk about a certain rider, because we had 36 riders on Friday, and we only had 35 on Saturday. So Eric is announcing first round. He announces Joris Daudet. Joris is nowhere to be found. After we asked around real quick, we found out that he got the emergency call from his wife, Tegan.
Yes.
Overnight, and got the first thing smoking out of Tampa and made it home just in time to see the birth of one Jet Joris Daudet.
Yes, so congratulations, guys.
Congrats, for sure.
It was cool. I talked to Joris last night. He said everything went good. The baby was definitely early. I think about 5 pounds.
5 weeks. I think it was 5 weeks.
5 weeks early. So, and he was about 5 pounds. So he's good, healthy weight. He said no problems with him. Everything was good. They had to go back to the hospital for one night for some jaundice.
Okay.
But they came back out and everything's fine. Mom's fine. Baby's fine. Everything's good. And Joris is. He's a happy dad, I'll tell you that.
For sure, man.
He's already got that dad bug and that dad look in his eye. It's cool. So we got new factory dad going to be coming up in a few years.
Yeah, man, for sure. And he's one that is going to have plenty of experience to share with the little guys. So
right.
So let's get into this Elite Men main, and yeah. So Friday night, man, David Graff was unstoppable.
Wow.
And it was more of the same on Saturday. He didn't lose a lap. 12 for 12. I saw on his Instagram he went 12 for 12.
Another little tidbit I found out about Graff. He was training there at Oldsmar leading up to it, I think he was there for quite a few weeks.
Right.
So, you know, he had the advantage. You know, he put in the work, obviously, and it showed.
For sure.
Showed all weekend long.
So Gate's going to drop here in a second, guys. Also, keep an eye on Alfredo Campo. He was my dark horse in this race, and he was right behind Graf, man. Alfredo is so close to getting back to the top of the box.
Yeah. He's right there. You know, Graf got the answer hole shot award, of course, both days in a row. Somebody got a little loose there going down that second straightaway. Had to make a little transfer, but pulled it off. But, yeah, you can see just Graf, just total domination all weekend long. And it definitely was a little bit of a hiccup as far as, you know, Joris not getting on the top of the box on Friday night. For sure.
And I think that was Marquardt.
Yeah.
That flew off the second
Marquardt, yeah. And, dude, those guys showed up, and, you know, we say it all the time, but, you know, they're so fast. And, you know, just to watch those guys unleash all that horsepower on the big track like that it's fun.
Amazing to see.
It's amazing to see. And when you're close and up front like you and I are, Gmo, you know, we're in the kill zone a lot of the times. You know, one little hiccup and, you know, we can be taken out at most times. But, like, for me, especially to call the race, I've got to be in a certain position to see everything and make sure that, you know, I call it in a good way. So that way fans at home, you know, get a good commentary, and we keep the hype up, man. I mean, that's what it's all about.
For sure, that's what it's all about. And also there you saw our Canadian friend Alex Tugas, Rookie of the Year from 2 years ago.
Yes.
On the third spot there. I think that's one of his best finishes of his career.
Right. Yeah, it might have been his first elite podium with those guys.
Yeah, definitely had a great weekend.
Tugas, you know, Canada, the Canadian boys, they're stepping it up. They always have been. You know, as far as they don't have – they've got some big facilities up there, but they've got weather up there, man. I mean, it's the Great White North, Canada. I mean, they've got all kinds of different variables up there. But, dude, those guys they're doing the work. Whatever they're doing, wherever they're doing it, it's showing, especially with the Tugas boys. Both of them. They're no joke. They're always in the mix.
For sure.
So.
All right, man, that's going to do it for the pro coverage at Oldsmar. We're going to run through a couple of amateur mains after this break. We'll see you guys after this one.
Turn my thoughts off and on and 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 off and ain't gonna tease me out of the
USA BMX and BMX Canada are excited to celebrate the legacy of Bob Warnicki through the running of the Warnicki Scholarship Races again this year. Each of these races supports the Bob Warnicki Memorial Scholarship Fund, as 50% of all entry fees will be awarded as scholarships during 2019. So grab your friends and family and head to a track near you to participate in this year's Warnicki Scholarship Races. All current members, track operators, and volunteers are eligible to receive Warnicki Scholarship funds. To find out when a Warnicki Scholarship race will be held in your area, visit usabmx.com and then click Events.
Guys, welcome back from the break. We got the mariachi band over here to the left of us. They're getting it in. Man, so amateur-wise in Oldsmar.
Great racing.
Great racing.
As always.
Yeah, let's get right into it. All right, you got Zoe the Z Dannenberg out front here in 9 Expert Girls, followed closely by Annalise Solano. Solano's going to go underneath her in the second turn here and go on to victory. In third place there you have Nora Wilmert doing it for Weawis LSG. In the 10 Expert Girls class, you had our national anthem singer from Friday, Riley Herrera, out to an early lead here with Brianna Vaughn doing it for Factory Avent Bombshell in the 2 spot. And in third, you had Sadie Herrera of no relation in third place. In the 11 expert girls class, we had a great battle between Kylie Niederberger and Alexis Alden doing it for J&R. Also in this rack was Brooklyn Super B Van Rensselaer, who is in third there for GT, and Allison Laughlin out of Horseheads, New York. Looks like Niederberger goes on to take the win here with AA taking the second. In the 12 expert girls class, we had Natalia Alvarez doing it. She lives in Sarasota now, but is from Colombia, out front of the class. And second, you had Avery Chartrand doing it for Wea-Wis. And in third, you had Sydney Karanzik doing it for Daylight Cycles. All right, let's jump up here to about 15X. We got a little something here for you guys. 15X is stacked to the hilt, man.
Always.
34 riders. And busting out of gate 5 is going to be Full Tilt's Dylan Wood. Cole Zufelt was on a quick second spot there out of the inside. But Drew Polk, doing it for Wea-Wis, makes the first turn low move and moves into second place. Coming up in the 4th spot was Western Malo, doing it for GT. $16X was dominated by none other than Gavin Freewalt. Still riding sponsorless, doing it in the all-black kit out front. You had another Florida local there, Matthew Meekins, pulling up on the 2nd spot. 3rd and 4th spots were ruled by Alto Wrecking Crews, Vaughn Philippus and Evan Schaefer. 17 to 20 saw the return of Jesse Welch to the front of the pack. Grace Lee gave him a great race. We thought he might come by, but the Phenom out front. 21-25X, you had Marco Muff with the win. Jason Bright, doing it for Lindenwood University, is hot on his tail, trying to make the pass, but it's not going to happen. And in the 3rd spot, you had 327 Designs Tyler Dudek, doing it out of Marietta, California. 26-35 experts saw a great battle between the two Matts, Matt Wilcox and Matt Calvin. Wilcox is going to go ahead and take the victory on the day for throwdown. Calvin would take the 2nd, and Gustavo Mesquita out of Orlando, Florida would take the 3. In 36-40, you had an early lead by Henry Robinson out of Jacksonville, Florida, but fellow Floridian Ryan Bunker comes up on the inside on turn 2 to get the job done and take the lead. In the 3rd spot there, you had Jeremy Jones out of Mississippi, who's going to make a great high-low pass in the last turn and overtake the 2nd spot. Blowout Graphics, Matt Dallas took an early lead in 41-45 expert, but ends up getting passed in the 2nd turn by Florida's Paulo Moreira. Languishing back there in the 3rd is Bay Area BMXers Brent Pee Wee Lee. Brent didn't have the best weekend, but he did get on the box on day 1. As the gate goes down in 46-50 expert, Renato Silva quickly finds his way to the front with fellow Floridian Drew Motley right behind him. In the 3rd spot, ultimately you're going to have Guillermo Gonzalez. 4th spot's going to be Jody Adams doing it for Remix, Coastal, and Old Man BMX out of South Carolina. Wrap it up from Oldsmar, and we're going to take our next break, and then we're going to come back with a little Cajun.
Oh, yeah, Cajuns.
All right, guys, we'll be right back after this.
USA BMX and BMX Canada are excited to continue our support of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society through our annual Race for Life events. Race for Life began as a fundraiser for BMXer Todd Kingsbury, who was diagnosed with leukemia in 1981. This support continues as the BMX family gathers donations for this worthwhile cause. Every donation to Race for Life matters, and all participating riders will be eligible to win prizes from USA BMX and Box Components. This year's top fundraiser will earn a trip to the greatest race on earth, the USA BMX Grand Nationals. For a complete list of Race for Life events, visit usabmx.com.
Hello everybody, this is Shannon Gillette with USA BMX. Be on the lookout for tech tips that we'll be doing for all of our new riders coming up real soon.
Thanks, Fly.
Thank you, Fly Racing.
Thank you, Fly Racing.
All right, guys, we're back here from the break. We're trying to stay warm. It's cold under here in the shade.
It might be about 40 now.
It might be 40. It might be. All right, so we are back, and we're going to jump right into some Cajun action. First up, we have 8 Intermediate and Aiden, the LA Lightning, Louisiana Lightning Guidry. So this is from Saturday, and Aiden wins, as you can see here, by a considerable amount in the 8 Intermediate class, and we'll come back to this at the end of the segment to see how he did. This is his last Intermediate win. See how he did on Sunday. Then we jump down to 7 and under Cruiser, in which we have Henry Linners out front. Ian Brunetti for Hard Knocks BMX closely following him in second place. And the Louisiana native Kane Schulteis in the 3 spot. Up next we have 8 Cruiser, Factory Black Crown, Wyatt Hicks out front, and LDC's Reed Neubauer following closely behind. And Wyatt's win here definitely assisted in Black Crown winning the team sheet on day 1 of the Cajun Nationals. All right, jumping up to 9 Cruiser, we had Pennsylvania's Pierce Reinhardt out front, getting chased down by Wheelis's Rowdy Holzer. Reinhardt would be able to hold on for the win. In 3rd place there you have Alpha's Parker Tramposh, just rounding out the podium. Ten Cruiser. We got Kane Wood out front doing it for Throwdown, battling with none other than William Edmonds for TNT, and then you have Chris Felker making the move there, moving into the 2 spot, doing it for Rift Tangent. Edmonds had a little challenge there from JC Gaylor from Landstar, but he would be able to hold him off and hold on to that 3 spot. All right, jumping over to 11 girls, you had Christina Cunningham and Alexis Alden battling for the early lead here. Looks like Alden and Cunningham are both going to go down. And Gabrielle Pavone is going to shoot out to the lead here. She was challenged there by Savannah Stokes for Spin City, who slid out in the 2nd turn. If you've never been to the Cajuns, the dirt is a little sandy. So unfortunately she went down, and Pavone was able to hold on for the win. In the 12-year-old class, you have NAG champion Ava Corley coming out of gate 2 here. And she jumped out to an early lead and never really looked back. Coming up behind her out of turn 2 is going to be Michaela Pino, doing it for Tough Girls. And on the 3 spot, rounding out the podium, was Sophia Johnson out of Isanti, Minnesota. Expert girls. Mrs. Christodulo, Gracia Christodulo, doing it for Factory S Squared, out of Dallas, Texas, by way of Bolivia. Has been tearing it up lately. She's been very hard to beat. Ashley McLennan is there in this 2 spot with a challenge, but just couldn't overtake the Texan. 14 expert girls here. Looks like a Venom show out in 1 and 2 with Megan Tossett and Callie Streeter. Those girls race each other pretty often, being from the same state, same team. And then on the 3rd spot there was Victoria Plummer, doing it for Black Widow. (15-16) girls, good battle going between JC Sinclair and Trinity Stofflet. Madeline DeSantis in a 3. We don't see Maddie in that spot too often. She would challenge Trinity here, but just not able to get around. Trinity kind of ran her wide in the last turn, and that's how they would finish up. On to the 17 to 20 women class. You have Corey Gilbert out front, doing it for Factory Black Crown. Sailor Martini is in the 2 spot there. You had Stevie Tompkins try to do a high-low in turn 2 on Skylar Shates, but Skylar would hold on to that 3 spot. Let's jump over on day 1 up to 41-45 expert, and we had a new winner out front. So you have Neil Johnson there in the chartreuse-colored uniform there. He bumps with the TNT rider, which allows Kevin Davis a free run straight to the front of the pack. Kevin's out of Nashville, Tennessee, doing it for Elite Racing, and Kevin would actually win this class both days. So congrats out to Kevin Davis. See Sean Campbell riding off there, TNT rider. Jumping up to 46 to 50, you had the powerhouse Dino Matoni out of Gary Ellis's hometown, Puyallup, Washington. Him and Chris Kennedy just went at it all weekend long. Chris is a Louisiana local, but he didn't have anything for Dino, who again would take those wins from the Cajuns. And the final lap of day 1, moto number 110, 51 and over expert, led by none other than the legendary group, doing it for Redline. There in second place you have John Pringle, and on the 3 you have St. Louis area legend Mr. Alfonso Gigante, getting it done and staying on the podium.
Win, lose, or draw, the Big Daddy is always excited to be in the house.
Racers race, man.
Yes,
that's
this is true.
There's Natalie right there. And
hey.
Well, I told her to come over. She's like, oh, no.
She thinks she's in trouble.
We're going to put her. So are you ready for an interview? No. She's thinking about it. But we do have something of your mom's here, though.
Yeah, take that. All right,
Don't worry. We made some charges, but it'll look fine because it's all BMX stuff.
All right, guys, let's jump into day 2.
And on day 2 in the 6 expert class, you had Mr. Hank Sicer doing it for Wheel West Devo, finishing up just ahead of Brentley Gast doing it for Throwdown. And you had Jacob Lackowitz on the 3 spot there. All right, 7X gates down. Keegan Skinner flies out to an early lead out of gate number 1. It's followed closely behind by Henry Lenners and Kane Schulteis. Lenners pulls up right going into turn 2 and makes the pass. And that's how those 3 will finish on the podium. All right, guys, I told you we're going to come back to the 8 expert class, and here we are. You had Joseph Mather shot out to a quick lead, but look who is right behind him in the second spot. Coming out of gate 8 is none other than Saturday's 8 intermediate winner, Aiden Guidry. This kid cemented his spot in that class with the quickness. He fights off Mr. Wyatt Hicks right there in the last turn, and he goes from winning the 8 intermediate class to getting a second in 8 expert. All right, guys, gate slaps down on 9 expert. And you had a great battle out front between Pierce Reinhardt and Mateo Pigo. Reinhardt shoots out to an early lead, but Pigo makes his way around the Pennsylvania rider. And then coming up strong in third is Rowdy Holzer, doing it for Weowis. He's going to make a pass of his own right here on the inside of straight number 3. Nope. Going to charge hard out of the last turn and then make that pass right before the line. 10X on the course here. Kane Wood again out front for throwdown, doing it out of Yukon, Oklahoma. You have William Edmonds, TNT national team, in the 2 spot, and Felker. So the top 3 was the same in 10X with second and third place swapping spots. 11 expert, we have Taryn Fields. Now Taryn is a Carve alumni. We had him in the Carve section of Pull magazine just last year from this very race, and now he's doing it from Max Speed Racing. And as you can see, he's getting the job done out front there. In second, you have doing it for Fast House and ODI is Devin Gosnell out of Henderson, Nevada, hometown of Olympic gold medalist Connor Fields. And in the third spot for Factory Bombshell, you have Riley Allen. $12X on the track. You had True Bailey shout out to a quick early lead, but then you have Louisiana Homer there, Mr. Charles St. Romain getting it done out front. True Bailey is going to make his way back up into the second spot, and Cole Isaacs would get DQ'd for moving over in the last straightaway. That's it from the Cajuns. We'll be right back after this next quick break.
Lauren Reynolds. I ride S-Squared bicycles, 3-time Bike of the Year.
Make your plans for your state championship series today. State championship series are packed with tons of action and determine the overall age group champions in your state. Should you be crowned the #1 rider in your state, age and proficiency group, you'll receive a custom award and a #1 plate. Riders may also earn bonus state points by racing in single-point events. Plus, plates will be awarded for number 2 through 10 based on the number of riders in your age and proficiency group. Visit usabmx.com for details on how you can earn a state number plate.
Welcome back, guys. We're out here at Duke City BMX under the even bigger top. We'll call it that. A little chilly out here Saturday morning at Duke City. What is it? I think when I came out of the hotel this morning, it was about 32.
32 when I came out, yes.
I think it's about 35 now. It hasn't crept up too much. But
it's a lot warmer out in the sun. So. All right, guys. This week, Mr. USA BMX Foundation here, Justin Posey, went on a school visit, man. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, it was cool. We went to a local YMCA and got to talk to the kids and spread the word of BMX. But it's when we do these school visits and these YMCA camps, whatever we do, it's not just hey, you should try BMX.
Right.
That's great. Like, we hope they do.
Sure.
But the biggest thing is just inspiring the kids. So, I go in, I give them my message of not giving up, and, you're going to fail along the way, but, have your goals and be persistent.
Right.
No matter what happens, just keep trying.
Keep charging.
That's the biggest thing I try to get across. And at the end of the day, if they try BMX, we give them a free one-day trial to come try it out.
Nice.
And, represent Mongoose, Answer BMX, all my great sponsors, and hopefully they want to try it. So, just promote our awesome programs, our foundation programs. We have STEM, track modeling, Read to Ride, all these great programs. So it's a really cool gig, man. I enjoy it, and the kids were great.
Yeah, we got a couple photos going here.
Yeah, it's.
We got, let's go through these a little slower here.
It's so cool, man. When I do that jump over a principal or teacher or counselor or whatever, if you pause it,
there it is right there.
The faces on those kids never get old. I mean, they are just in awe every single time. And for us, it's like it's a little bunny hop.
Yeah,
but for the kids,
for sure.
they lose it.
Right,
so
right.
it's really cool to see.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, what are some of the questions that they have?
Well, of course, I'm going to get the ones that are, how old are you and what's your dog's name and, that kind of thing. But it's also funny, they want to tell me things too. So after I go through the whole speech and I'm like, hey, let's do some Q&A. What's your question? Yeah, one time I fell down on my bike, but, I kept trying and stuff. And, I'm like, cool, that's great.
That's awesome.
I'm like, any other questions, though? And, they asked me, how much your bike costs, where do I get a bike, how do I, get started in BMX? Or, they ask some great questions every now and then, and I love it. So it's good.
That's pretty cool, man. It's glad to see you guys getting out there to those schools, man, and reaching out and making those connections that really before the STEM program, it was very limited to the school districts that we could get into. So the STEM program has really changed the face of that, man, and allowed a lot more kids to know about BMX racing.
Yep, and I think Mike DeVarney's done a great job with the foundation side of things. Just 501c3 being able to say, hey, these are our educational programs, and we have a passion for creating kids having a passion for education through a bike. And so it's a great fit. And so we're able to go into these schools and, again, spread the message and, give them resources that they can use. STEM, track modeling, Read to Ride, all these great programs.
Gotcha. All right, man. Well, on to your racing. Last night we saw the orange Mongoose kid out there again.
Yep.
Take us through the day.
It was a pretty good day. First round, had a good run, ended up getting second. Second round was a little iffy, but I got fourth. Third round was a second, and then main event time. Had a pretty good start, had a decent run on the outside, had a little mess up on the first straight, but was in fourth. And I had probably the biggest brain fart of my career going into the second corner. I just totally forgot to jump the double. I messed up on the tabletop a little bit, forgot to jump the double, and just almost took myself out. So Josh McQueen went around me and ended up getting fifth. But
I'd say, yeah.
Other than that, it was all right. I would have liked to be, top four. I mean, obviously on the podium, and I know I'm capable of it. I've shown the speed, and so today's a new day. We try to give it another crack and get up on top of the podium.
For sure, man. Yeah. 16 elite men last night.
Yep.
Put on a great show here out here at Duke City BMX. So
yeah.
All right, man. We're going to go into our last segment. We're going to say goodbye to Mr. Posey.
Cool.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me, guys. I love the show,
it.
and I love what you guys are doing. And let's go racing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go racing. All right, guys. We'll be right back.
When did you see the sign?
When I needed to jumpstart sales. Build attendance for an event.
Help people find their way. Fast Signs designed new directional signage.
And got them back on track. Get started at fastsigns.com.
Man, pro practice is winding down for day number 1 here at the Spring Nationals, and yeah, man, I'm looking forward to another great day. We'll briefly talk about what happened last night.
Yeah.
Let's start Elite Men.
Elite Men, another great race. Of course, George A. Back in town, back to racing again, fresh off the dad run, and boy,
he's back to business.
Back to business right away. Little hiccup through one of the motos. He come unclipped out of the gate.
I think it was first round.
First round,
yeah.
You know, uncharacteristic of .A for that happen, but never give up. You know, he got back in, clipped back in, got the points he needed to get to the main, and
then made it happen.
Of course, in the main event, made it happen, owned it right out of the gate, right into the first turn, in and out, got the answer hole shot award, of course, and then just walked away with it and took the boys back home. So it was great, good racing with the Elite Men yesterday. And,
awesome racing. The real story was the Elite Women, that main event, man. Somebody else besides Elise was leading for 90, probably 89% of the race.
Right.
Miss Felicia Stansel.
Stansel, she had the horsepower right out of the gate. She took the ladies right downtown, and you could see Elise trying to work her way in, Brooke Crane, Amanda Carr, all the girls, Reynolds, everybody was driving hard into turn number 1. She came out on top, owned it down the second and third straight. At the end of the third straight, though,
she had a little bobble that just kind of took her smoothness and took her speed down just a notch.
Just a notch, and Willoughby, she's waiting.
She was on the prowl.
She was on the prowl. I thought maybe she was going to ramp it up down the third straight, and she hung back.
Yeah.
She
was patient.
She patiently waited, and out of that last turn, she got on the gas and cracked the throttle wide open, and she took it upstairs. Took it upstairs 2 or 3 times down the last straightaway, and made it happen. And then, of course, Brooke Crane followed up suit and got on the podium with them. But, Felicia, definitely watch out. She might be the one that ends today. She might be the one that ends the streak with Willoughby.
It could happen today.
Willoughby's still undefeated since last year.
Yeah, we thought it was going to end yesterday, but, man, she pulled it off at the end. So let's jump to A Pro. You had two super local guys, Tomas Fernandez,
Calvin
Davis. They just put on a show through the pro set, man.
Right. It was Tyler Smith ended up with the whole shot there.
He did.
But you come out of that first turn, and, of course, the local boys decided, guess what? We're taking the right side.
Right. Also, the Aussie.
And the Aussie, and Hill took it with him, and it paid off for all 3 of those guys. They came out of the first turn probably in third, fourth, somewhere in there through the pro set. First place coming into that second turn. As soon as they landed, Tomas and Calvin made up the ground and took off with it, and then the Aussie.
Yeah. He ended up getting the win, and Tomas in second, and it was great racing. Vet Pro, man.
Vet Pro, another good one.
It was good. Not a lot of guys showed up this weekend. Maybe the cold scared them off.
The cold scared it off. The champ wasn't here.
The champ wasn't here, yeah.
I think he opted out, man.
Yeah.
But, hey, it's okay, Tyler.
It's all right. We'll give you a pass on this one.
We're not mad at you, bro. But,
good racing with those guys. And who ended up taking the win?
Fallon. Yeah.
Super local.
So Fallon and McMoto Phil, a.k.a. McClintock.
Ricks ended up, I think, on third on the box.
It was a good show with those guys yesterday. Always fun with the Vet Pros, man.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, we got to wrap this up. Pro practice is winding down. We're going to get ready to get our balance bikes out here racing. So, hey, man, thanks again for tuning in. We want to try to make this better for you every time. We want to thank Justin Posey for coming on today.
Yeah, thanks, Posey.
Yeah, and explaining what some of the stuff he does with the USA BMX Foundation.
Yeah.
And anything else?
One of these days we'll get Cameron Wood on here.
One of these days we're going to get him. So everyone can see his
still
face.
Still shooting for you. And I think maybe next time we'll have to get some of those junior women up here. And
for sure, man, for sure.
Get talking about those girls and see what we got going on. Delaney Vaughn. Let's touch on the junior women's class last night. Delaney Vaughn
laid it down.
And the Hayes girls.
Yes.
Wow. And Natalie Daughtry, Nightmare. Another
show.
Epic race, and Delaney Vaughn stepped it up. She took the top of the podium for the first time with the junior women's class.
Remember that name.
Remember that name. Yeah, watch out for her.
Watch out. All right, guys, that's it from here in
chilly
Albuquerque.
Man,
at 5,200 feet above sea level.
Yeah.
All right, so for Eric Grindle, I'm G-Mo. I'm DeFro. He's the Finish Line, and we will catch you guys next time. Peace.